Yo, what up, y'all? In this video, we're gonna be talking about the latest episode of The Strain on Netflix. Where do I start? Oh, sorry, good old buddy Eb finally got to Washington, D.C., and then he caught up with his homeboy, and then they meet up with his colleague, and they finally tell him what's going on in New York, and they get the ball running, and then she hears him, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and bam, finally, they do it. So that mission accomplished for F. And meanwhile, back in New York, Nora and Zach are out and about, and they're seeing I guess that mayor lady or whatever the hell her name is, and they're out there for a minute during the day, yipping and yapping, having a good old time, and then it's nighttime, and then those vampires are lining up, to get them. Uh-oh. And the rest of the Scooby Gang are like, yipping and yapping, hollering, and then finally they caught up to him before, Vampire Kelly, almost got a hold of her son. Ooh, that would have been bad. Ooh. And while all that is happening, our good old buddy F decides to play, what did Iron Man say in Avengers Age of Ultron? How do I put it? He decides to play hide the zucchini with another woman. Really, dude? Really, dude? Like, the woman you supposedly love is back in New York, and looking after your son, and she almost risked her life to try to protect him, and then they almost got killed, and then you're doing that? Really? You are a jerk. And then that mysterious vampire that appeared in the last episode, we see him, a little, and we still don't know about him. And then he catches up with those other vampires who are down in that dungeon, laying lined up in a circle, talking to him and lecturing them like they're a football team or something. And then he tells them that I'm going after the master but for my own reasons, and I need human hunters to hunt during the day. So sounds like he'll potentially run into our good old favorite Scooby Gang. Now that'll be awesome. Have a vampire on your side. Yeah, I mean, like, come on, that could have happened with those hooded vampires before they got trapped and most likely killed. And Gus's story. Oh my gosh. I mean, ever since he departed, ever since those hooded vampires departed with him and they fell in that trap and they told him to go. His story has gotten boring ever since. Like, come on, talking to his favorite, childhood wrestler or whatever, talking to him and nagging him. I mean, I forgot why he even went to go see him to begin with. I mean, it does get a little interesting when those vampires are hot on their trail and they almost got killed. And I don't know. Until then, I mean, Gus's story is getting soggy. It's like getting really boring. I mean, come on, let something interesting happen with them guys. Come on. So while F is playing hide a zucchini, he finds out that his buddy was killed, and then his buddy's colleague was gunned down too. They got her down too, and F got him before he can off him as well. And they discovered that obviously he's like one of those human beings who wants this apocalypse to happen. I still have trouble wrapping my head around that there's humans that want this to happen, and they're gonna stop and kill anyone who tries to prevent that. Oh man, and that black dude who worked for Palmer. I mean, like, oh man, I mean, like, why did they have to kill him off? Come on, what the fuck? I was like, no, not the black guy, no, oh no, Mr. Blackman, no. But yeah, and so so the master found himself a new vessel. Uh, it's just not gonna be the same. But when he finally finds his new vessel, which is that Marilyn Manson vampire, that Marilyn Manson wannabe vampire, or whatever, you know, with the long hair, wearing that long goth wig. I mean, the master transfers his consciousness into him, and Ike Horse is all thinking that he's, you know, the master died. Like, master, no, 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 oh no, master, no, don't leave me, man. And then the master reemerges in his new body and his new form, and then he says, Ike Horst, swear no matter what form I take that you will remain loyal to me. And then that's how the episode ends. And man, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's not a huge letdown that he's in a new body, but the body that he's been in since season 1, I mean, that, man, sucks. And it's hilarious that he rose up out of that body. The last time you see him in that body, he's all standing there all butt naked like the Terminator. And I thought that was funny. But next week's episode looks pretty interesting. And it looks like that mysterious vampire may catch up with Abe, and they may go up against the master together. That's how it looks anyway. So, fingers crossed. I mean, this episode was pretty damn good, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. So, okay, guys. So feel free to leave your comments down below on your thoughts of tonight's episode, and feel free to tell me what you think's gonna happen, and I'll be happy to talk about it with you guys. And I mean, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the show was renewed for a 3rd season. So how awesome is that? So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens throughout the season, and hopefully hopefully it keeps my interest, and I think it will. So, well, if you liked my review, thumb it up and share it, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, Nerdy Blasian is out. Deuces. Da 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 da.